Looks like I have less tits than what I had before. The colour looks real.
You crazy.
Awfully sorry about the clickbait, but I'm also not really that sorry. I needed something simple and big to grab your attention, because these things are simple, but they make big changes. So let's just get straight into this, okay? So this video is going to be a little bit serious, but I've added some humor so that you guys don't get bored, because I know from personal experience when I watch these kind of videos, I'm like, ugh, I really like what you're saying and I really do want to help the environment, but I'm just bored because it's all factual and you're just like bored, you know? So I have a list of the tiniest things you can do, changing up in your routine just to help prevent the world from dying, you know? So the first plain and simple one, I should expect that you all are doing as well. If you don't, like, RIP to the polar bears and that. The first one is to recycle properly, and by this I mean emptying out your plastic containers before you put them into the plastic bag. The second one is so simple, and a lot of restaurants have done their part to make this so much easier for you guys, but it's to not use plastic straws. Preferably use metal ones or glass ones. I have an incredible company that I've worked with before. I'll put their link down in the description that do cool glass straws that you can add little charms onto the end of them to make them fun. Personally, I prefer these over paper straws because paper straws just melt and disintegrate in your mouth and it just makes your drink not very enjoyable. So definitely get metal or glass ones, personal preferences. Take your old clothes to charity shops. I cannot stress this enough. I must clear out my wardrobe at least once every month just because my fashion sense changes so often, and taking them to somewhere which is going to benefit other people rather than throwing them away is so much better. I personally like to donate them to mine just because one, it is the closest, and two, it's also the closest charity to my heart, if that makes any sense. Obviously you can choose any charity shop that you feel free to donate to. So this step is super easy, and if you're a Visco girl then you're already going to use this step. A reusable bottle is so helpful, and I have like 3, I think. I have various different colour choices because I'm picky and I like to match them to my outfit. Taking these everywhere with you when you're out and about just prevents you from having to buy plastic bottled water, and it's also so much cheaper because you don't have to buy a drink when you're out. Win-win. This step is definitely not going to be for everyone, but it's to try veganism or try being vegetarian, and this doesn't mean that you have to fully commit. Obviously if you are, then props to you. I've never fully been able to, but if I could advise anyone to, then I would. At the moment I kind of lie in between the pescatarian and vegetarian margin. I wouldn't say I am pescatarian at all because I don't keep a strict diet of it, but I rarely ever eat meat just because I don't purchase it at the supermarket. I'd only really order meat when I'm out, so that's why I wouldn't ever say that I'm having a strict diet towards it. As I said, if you are, then that is literally incredible and props to you. I wish I could do the same. Maybe I could in the future, but to those of you that are like me and can't fully commit to it, then even just having one vegetarian or one vegan day a week where all of your meals on that day will be vegetarian or vegan, then that is a lot more helpful than just entirely having meat 24/7. Linking back to clothing, I know that this is going to be a hard one for a lot of you guys, and it is for me because it is so cheap, but trying to limit yourself from buying fast fashion products. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm queen bee of everything and I'm absolutely perfect with all of this, because I'm not. I have bought from fast fashion in the past and I have recently too. Personally, I'm not actually investing in it, but I am having it gifted, so it kind of is the same thing, and I'm not gonna lie about that. But if you can try and turn more towards vintage stores or charity shops or just second-hand stores, it's a lot more better for the environment. The whole production process is just absolute trash. The reason that I like second-hand stores so much is because it kind of gives the clothing a longer lifetime. That sounds so stupid, but I love buying old shirts, like oversized shirts, ripping them up, customizing them to how I want. I actually have a video coming out soon which is called Thrift Flip, and it's where I get loads of old shirts from a vintage store. I got like 5 for 40 quid, which is so good when you compare it to fast fashion where one of them is like 25 quid by itself. And I'm basically just reusing the fabrics or reusing the actual shirt to make a new trendy item, and I prefer that so much than going out and spending 40 quid on a jumpsuit that I can probably make myself for a lot cheaper. And it's also fun to make stuff. Seeing the end product is so beneficial, and I feel so good when I can actually try it on. I can't wait to show you guys this video because it is just so fun to do. Yeah, try and buy from secondhand stores, vintage stores, charity shops. Obviously charity shops do help other people, they are more beneficial. This one is a lot easier for me because I don't drive, so it's just try to walk more. If you could try and not drive everywhere, like going to the shop down the road, then it really does help, obviously because CO2 emissions and all of that. We know that cars are literally killing the earth, but people really don't want to walk anywhere, so using public transport is actually a lot more better than driving because it minimizes the amount of people that would be using separate cars and just puts them all in one vehicle. So if you do use public transport, which I use the tube, it is a lot better for the environment, even though it isn't entirely good You know what I mean? Okay, let's just move past that point because it's a really hard one to explain. But basically just walk more. Might be good for you, you know, get some fresh air. If you can, try and avoid plastic packaging. For me personally, when I go out, I take a little tote bag with me. This just prevents me from having to buy a plastic bag if I shop somewhere like the grocery store. Don't know why I say grocery store because I'm not American, but I feel like I've just been watching too many American people recently. Also, if you could shop at places, if it is fast fashion, maybe they do something where they use reusable plastic and then you can recycle it yourself afterwards, or if they have paper packaging, just anything like that that is a little bit more eco-friendly. For example, the brand that I obviously was working with, Notice, their packaging is 100% recycled materials, so it's already been used before, the plastics have been used before, and that's how it's delivered to you in those packages. So yeah, kind of just do your research on some brands and see what is more eco-friendly and sustainable and what isn't. If you are a milk lover like me or an alcohol lover, not like me because I don't actually drink that much, obviously as you all know they have the tags on, so milk bottles will have the tags on, cans of beer will have the tags on, like so. And if you chuck these away and they do get sent to landfill and they accidentally come in contact with an ocean, a lake, a pond, they can actually affect the wildlife. For example, turtles, I think we all know this, can get stuck in them and suffocate, and they sadly do die, which is literally so upsetting. It happens commonly with other wildlife as well, birds for example. So if you can do, just before you put them in the recycling, do cut them up so that we won't have this problem. I'm pretty sure we have these installed in our house, but getting energy efficient light bulbs is a lot better for the environment. They actually use a lot less energy than usual light bulbs, and they also last a lot longer too. Also, on a plus side, they do save you money in the long run, obviously because they use less energy. Not only about saving the environment, guys, we save money too, okay? That's what we do here. A lot of you are going to be guilty for this, but try and take shorter showers because it does prevent wasted water. And really, why do you need to be in the shower for 40 minutes singing your favorite songs when you could get out the shower after 5 minutes and sing them in your room, you know? This one I actually saw from a YouTuber that did a video similar to this, and she said not to use a dishwasher. However, I've read some theories, and correct me if I'm wrong on this because I really do want to know your opinion. We use a dishwasher in our home. The reason we do this is because it does use a lot less water, because obviously you're not filling the sink up for like 3 items, having to wash them out and then doing the same for the next thing that you use. You're just packing them all together and they can all be washed in one, and we fully pack it, okay? We don't turn it on with just a few items in. So this is why I personally think it does save water and energy, but you know, who knows nowadays. Please let me know down below about that one because I am really stuck on it. If you're using a dishwasher or a washing machine and the items aren't extremely dirty, then try and do a cold eco wash. We always use eco wash on the dishwasher just because it's more eco-friendly. This one is mainly for my travelers or concert goers or anyone that has tickets for anything. I'm sure you're all aware of e-tickets, and they are a lot more easier to use. You just keep them on your phone, you know, you don't have to print them off. Not gonna worry about losing them. It is actually a lot better to do this than get paper ticket. I know it's a stretch because Ticketmaster automatically send them out for you, but yeah, that's just a little small tip. It's a little bit better. This one's quick and easy, but it's obviously to turn off your lights when you're not using them. If you're going out of the room for a short period of time, then make sure you turn off your lights. Don't leave them on when you go out of the house. Yeah, pretty quick and easy. This one is very simple, and if you do this, then you're literally a piece of trash. No pun intended, but just don't litter. Put it in the bin. Recycle. It's really not that hard, okay? I feel like I need to just drill it into people's heads. This is another one that we do personally in our household. I don't know why I'm saying our household. It's actually me and my 2 best friends that live together. It's not a bloody family. But over the winter, try not to use your heating as much. Obviously, use it when you really need to, but don't have it on 24/7. It's such a waste, and you really don't need it. Half the time you're not even in the house because of work, etc. I know a lot of people like to heat the house up for when they get home, and I just think that's a little bit selfish. Tiny little bit. Like, you don't need to. Just layer up. Layering is so freaking cool. I think it looks really cool. Maybe try that this winter, you know? With the clothes you bought from the charity shops, maybe try and layer. We love combining ideas. This one I didn't know about until I came across my American audiences and they told me about it. But it's called Ecosia. I believe that's how you pronounce it. If not, then let me know down below. But it's basically a search engine online, but every time you search something, a tree gets planted, which I think is so cool. So you can literally search anything on there. I've been using it a lot more frequently now. I've got it saved in a tab on my laptop, and it's literally like Google, but you get to plant a tree. Isn't that great? I thought that was pretty cool. Didn't even know it existed. I also found a charity that you can send your old mascara ones to, and it actually helps save animals, and I never knew this existed. So I'm gonna put a few of them on the screen that I know of roughly, and then I'm gonna put them in the links in the description as well. These are just a few charities that I've come across. Obviously they have terms and conditions, you do have to wash them before you send them off, but apparently it helps baby animals, and I never even knew that was a thing. So who doesn't want to help baby animals, eh? One that I currently don't do, but I definitely am going to invest in it, is having a bamboo toothbrush. Obviously this prevents you from using plastic. Didn't even know they did those. I'm pretty sure my friend has one and I think they're pretty awesome. So just a thought, food for thought, you know. Stop smoking and vaping. I don't get this obsession with juuling. Like, I'm sorry to be a prude, but I literally don't get the obsession. It's literally been proven that it's still as harmful and people are just doing it for fun. You're not quitting smoking, so why are you vaping? It just doesn't make any sense to me, but it's also bad for the environment. I know it's damaging your lungs, but quite frankly, if you're doing that to yourself, I don't really care about you as a person, but I do care about the environment. So if you could stop smoking and vaping, that'd be lovely. Also, I don't think your family want you doing that shit either, so just put an end to it, yeah? And apparently, according to research, they are one of the biggest polluters for beaches, waterways, and just soil in general, like the ground, you know, because people just drop them on the floor. Anyway, I feel like that's a bit of a touchy one, just in case anyone is watching and they do smoke. They're going to be coming for my neck soon. Obviously, each to their own. These are just small changes that you could make in your life. You don't have to abide by all of them, obviously. I've always had a weird relationship with smoking. I've always hated it. So that's why it's in my recommendations of things to stop. Reducing your dairy intake is obviously one of the biggest things. I could scream at you right now. I literally love milk so much. It's awful. And I sound like such a hypocrite even saying this to you. I really am trying to lower down my daily intake of dairy. And quite frankly, I haven't had anything today apart from a cup of tea that had dairy in it. So yeah, that is a hard one. I know it's really hard to go dairy free if you're not vegan. When you're out, try to not use plastic cutlery. It sounds like such a reach, but maybe even take cutlery in your own bag, like metal cutlery. If you're eating at a fast food restaurant, I know that it is so easy to just grab some plastic cutlery and go eat your food, but as I said, it's plastic, so it is a big contender to how damaged the environment is. Another one that I literally forgot to mention is obviously go cruelty free and vegan with your makeup. I have tried to so hard recently. Any makeup that I've bought recently is definitely cruelty free and vegan. I can't say the same for the gifted stuff, but I am trying to cut down on it. We hate animal testing here, okay? Like, it is just vile. I don't even know why it's still a thing. It doesn't need to be a thing, and if you can support any petitions trying to stop that, then that would be great. Sorry to end that on such a confusing note. It's just I feel like the further I got in with this, the more I was like, wow, people are really gonna hate me. But this is the thing, we need to stop making being eco-friendly and being sustainable so weird. It's like it's a taboo subject. It's like no one wants to talk about it. And I am going to own up and say that I don't abide by all of these. Obviously, I'm trying to a lot more now, and a few of them I do. But if I can use my platform to try and educate you guys and show you guys what you could do, literally the tiniest changes ever can make such a huge difference. But yeah, if you do have any more suggestions, then please leave them down below. But this is the thing, we seriously need to be talking about it because we don't have long left. I'm pretty sure there was a report that said we have 17 months to make some changes, otherwise it's going to be irreversible, and that means the world's going to freaking end, okay? Like, I can't even screw this into people's minds anymore. Please just try and be more considerate with your lifestyle. You don't have to eat meat 24/7. You don't have to use plastic 24/7. You can lead a more eco-friendly and sustainable life. If you do have any more suggestions, comment them down below. I'll be hearting them all so you guys can see them. Make sure you check the links in my description as well, all the charities that can help, and my social medias if you do fancy going on there. We talk a lot about this over on my Instagram, on my stories. You guys send in suggestions all the time and I always repost them. Also on my Twitter as well. I feel like I'm very vocal on my Twitter. Yeah. Anyway guys, that is it for this video. I'm sorry that it had to be so serious, but it does just need to be said. I love you all so much, and I will see you in the next video.